Shalom, Israel. It's that time again. The I.S.U.P.K. under commanding General YAHANNA presents the Lord's 57th annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 57th annual Passover, April 4th, 2026 in Houston, Texas. All Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans are commanded to observe the Lord's Passover. This will be the biggest Passover to date. You do not want to miss this. Fresh lamb, fresh wine, and bitter herbs as commanded by the Most High. Only $200 per person ages 17 and up. The biggest event of the year. There is only one Passover, and it's under commanding General YAHANNA. See you there, Israel. Shalom.
Nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and warlike apparel. Prefer.
The I.S.U.P.K. presents the Lord's 57th annual Passover, April 4th, 2026 in Houston, Texas. You do not want to miss this one, Israel. Shalom.
Shalom, Israel. It's that time again. The I.S.U.P.K. under commanding General YAHANNA presents the Lord's 57th annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 57th annual Passover, April 4th, 2026 in Houston, Texas. All Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans are commanded to observe the Lord's Passover. This will be the biggest Passover to date. You do not want to miss this. Fresh lamb, fresh wine, and bitter herbs as commanded by the Most High. Only $200 per person ages 17 and up. The biggest event of the year. There is only one Passover, and it's under commanding General YAHANNA. See you there, Israel. Shalom.
Nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and warlike apparel.
The I.S.U.P.K. presents the Lord's 57th annual Passover, April 4th, 2026 in Houston, Texas. You do not want to miss this one, Israel. Shalom.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to isupk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
Everyone west. Everyone west. Everyone west.
Hey, shalom, Yahweh Bashim, Shabrakatham to all the brothers, Yahweh Shamar Tham Bashim, Yahushua to all the sisters. I'm Priest and Officer Fire Ranger Barak Yala with the I.S.U.P.K., which stands for the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, under commanding General YAHANNA, right? We also have a trooper with us. Bear with me 1 second. Let's see. Trooper Satam with us. You understand? We are the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, again, under commanding General YAHANNA. Right, since 1969, we're teaching you nothing but the truth. What is the truth? Is that the people known today as so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans of Negro indigenous descent on their father's side are the real biblical Israelites of antiquity, not these filthy, disgusting bastards over there bombing Palestinians to smithereens. They are imposters. They're the reason why there is war in the Middle East. The president of Egypt said it himself. He said, we can never accept them on a land that they're not indigenous to. They don't belong here. Maduro, right before getting kidnapped, he said that Netanyahu, the prime minister of the state of Israel, is not a real Jew. He said he's a Polish scoundrel. He literally said that. I'm quoting him verbatim. You understand? It is so important to know who you are today. Because without knowing who we are, we don't know how to move. We don't know how to not move. We don't know who to love. We don't know who to hate. We don't know who to trust. We don't know who to beware of. And this is a topic of class today. Based on a lot of those recent events that are going on around the globe, they're saying the doomsday clock is 18 seconds away. For those who don't know what a doomsday clock is, we're going to get into a couple articles. We're going to give you a little breakdown of what's the doomsday clock and what does it have to do with us gathering together. You understand? Besides us being ordered to, you're going to see that everything is unfolding where you have no choice but to gather with your brothers and sisters, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native. And if you don't, it's because you're a great slave and you're a comfortable one at that. Why? Who told you that the natives are not your brothers? Who pushed that narrative that the natives are Siberians? Who pushed that narrative that Latinos hate black people and vice versa? Who pushed that narrative? Ask yourself these questions. Because if you're just going with the trend, you might as well be a homosexual because that's a trend. Straight up. And if you disagree, well, maybe you should come to class. If you truly are not going with the trend, maybe you should come to class. You know why? Because the followers of Christ were not going with the trend. What was the trend back then? Christ told the Sadducees and Pharisees they are of their father, the devil. Following your oppressor is the trend. Hating one another, that's the trend that your oppressor pushes. Division is the trend. And where's the proof? They're divided against Trump support. Listen, Trump supporters are divided within themselves. Matter of fact, I'm going to pull up a precept real quick. Christ prophesied that already. He told you that you can't have a stable foundation with division. It's impossible. Where's the proof? MAGA, Trump supporters, Democrats, liberals, conservatives, wherever you are on the planet Earth, it's the same. Whatever political party you want to call it or whatnot, it's the exact same. And this is what Christ talked about. I'm going to share my screen if you could read that. So, Tom, when you got it, let me just zoom in and share my screen. Then we're going to get into some articles. Any questions, comments? Y'all put it in the chat. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. Listen, share the class everywhere. You have no issue sharing dumb TikTok videos of these whores shaking their butts, of these half sodomites doing whatever the hell they're doing, on social media. How about you share the truth? Push the truth. It's literally a push of a button. That's all you got to do. You have no issues pushing buttons on a video game. You understand? Them video games that are messing up your children's mind, that are creating criminals and half sodomites and whores. How about you push these buttons so you can share the truth so that they get to repent? They become, disgusting sinners. They go from disgusting sinners to righteous brothers and sisters. How about you do that for a change, right? Let me share my screen. So I can read that when you got it out. You're on mute.
Salakia. Matthew chapter 12, verse 25. And Yahweh knew their thoughts.
You understand? Keep reading.
And said unto them,
Read.
Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation.
Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation. And if you know history, all these empires that had us in captivity, that fell, that crumbled, that were rendered desolate to dust, they were divided. Even Egypt was divided before it became a desert. So you had upper Egypt. You understand? That's why even Egypt was divided. Babylon was divided. Rome was divided in 4 parts. You had 4 different. I forgot. There's a proper term for that. I forgot what's the term exactly. It's quadri something, right? Quadri for 4. It was divided in 4 sub-governments. Greece, the same way. They were all divided and they were all rendered desolate. Just like today. Listen, Trump, there's a video, right? I forgot to pull that up. Let me see if I could pull up real quick. Even though it's in French, it's like 20 seconds. I could translate it for y'all. The point is this. Emmanuel Macron, the president of France, he's scared to a different point. Because why? They're thinking, just like Trump made a move on Maduro, ICE just barged in the embassy of what? Ecuador or Panama? That's an act of war. That's forget about illegal. But Emmanuel Macron, he's thinking Trump might make a move on its colonies in the Americas, which would be St. Pierre and Miquelon by Canada, St. Martin, Guadeloupe, Martinique, and the only mainland they got, French Guyana. Listen, this is the only Western assets that France has is its colonies. And it's never letting go of its colonies. Now they're afraid that, you know what, Trump will make a move on the colonies that they got. Let me pull that video. 1 second.
Voir que Trump s'arrêtera une seconde quand il s'agira d'attaquer des démocraties. Il a déjà visé le Groenland qui appartient au Danemark en Europe. Il a parlé du canal du Panama où les Antilles françaises sont. Il a parlé du Canada. Il continuera. C'est écrit dans la doctrine Monroe. Donc soit on arrête ça tout de suite et on dit que Trump n'est plus notre allié, qu'on doit défendre le droit international partout où il se trouve et on essaie d'être un peu cohérent autour de ça et de réfléchir à quelle stratégie géopolitique et d'alliance on peut avoir nous Français parce qu'on a des atouts pour défendre cela. Soit effectivement on va laisser Monsieur Trump faire la loi et vous verrez que ça ne s'arrêtera pas à Maduro ni aux dictatures.
You understand? This guy say it's not going to stop at Maduro or any dictatorship. Listen, France and the U.S. are part of the United Nations. What do you mean they're not allies no more? They don't get along with each other? What Christ said again? Let's read that again one more time.
Khan. From the top?
No, from every kingdom.
Khan. Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation.
Christ said every kingdom, every empire divided against itself is brought to desolation. Don't think it's a different empire, a different kingdom. Why? Because it's the French. They're Europeans. The Americans are Europeans as well. They just took over another land and they stayed there. Just like the Australians are British. The Americans are French, Spanish, Portuguese, British. What else? They're Dutch, German, Irish, Italians. They're all white. They're all Caucasian. It's the same kingdom. It's the same empire. The French said the hell with Trump. Canada said the same thing. Canada said, yo, listen. Canada just became an ally to China. Canada said, you know what? Trump wants to shadow us like that, wants to put tariffs. Well, guess what? We're going to side with Trump's enemy. Well, guess what? Trump's enemy is your enemy too, because don't think you're different. You're a different type of white person. The only difference you got is free healthcare. But you're the same devil. And the Lord will have you in chains as well. You understand? Read that one more time.
Khan. Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation.
Keep reading.
Khan. And every city or house divided against itself shall not stand.
This applies to you as well. Didn't you know that our kingdom split and then this is why we can't thrive as a people? We're divided. And that goes for every single kingdom. The only difference is that we're the only kingdom that has unity. We're the only kingdom that has brotherhood. And the only reason our kingdom fell is because of heathen influence. Solomon married a white woman. He married Pharaoh's daughter, an African. He married a Moabite, a goddamn bat eater. You know, the Lord was with him. The Lord didn't bring COVID during that time, but he could have brought COVID and probably been worse. The point is, the only reason we're divided is because we follow after heathens. And this should click in our head. Why? Because they're divided. So how can we talk about unification when the example that we get is from the heathens? Like, look at the Black Panthers. General Hyman brought up a heavy point last week. I think it's last week or 2 weeks ago, right? He asked Alexa, do the Black Panthers allow homosexuals? Apparently, yes. I thought the Black Panthers were for the people. There's a whole agenda pushing homosexuality and feminization of the Black, Latino, and Native men, and masculinization, or pushing masculinity on our women. That's pushed to destroy our people, our family structure, raising our kids. You understand? So how could they be for the people if they side with the agenda against the people? You see the problem? That's the problem. The problem is they're not sitting in class right now. The problem is they're not sitting in class with Saddam. They're not reading scriptures, for Captain Hadar. That's the problem. They're too busy sucking on blunts and allowing people sucking on other stuff. Salakia. Pause. Damn. That's the point. The point is this, right? You cannot follow your oppressor. Your oppressor is all about division. The French have been at war with the British for the longest time, and the Spaniard. Listen, that's one of the reasons, right? I don't want to say necessarily one of the reasons, but this, right? During slavery, you think all the devils were agreeing together? No. Martinique, we had the Spaniards, we were under the British, then the French, and at last the French. They kept stealing from each other. They make it seem like, oh, the British, we were the first one to abolish slavery. That's a lie. Haiti was the first. You understand? And even then, until like 1834, you had slavery. Mexico was, I think, not Mexico, probably like El Salvador, a country that was rendered extremely racist to Black people because of white people, abolished slavery before the British. See, you can't follow or listen to these devils. Because what these devils promote, you see, when they say, we can't be in the I.S.U.P.K, y'all have been infiltrated. The devil has infiltrated our community for the longest time. How? The one-drop rule that was created by a racist white man who followed Hitler. One drop of black blood makes you black. $5 Indians. They paid $5 at some point. Now they have native status. And they're around the communities. You go to the reservation in Montreal, you see all those weed shops, all those casinos and cigarettes. I'm not saying not one single native owns the shop. But last time I went to Oka, about an hour and a half away, it was white people owning a shop on reservation and making money on the reservation. People starve on reservations. You understand? What else? You have these Latinos. And I'm not talking about the indigenous or Negro descent, but those like the president of Mexico, who's from Austria. But now, all of a sudden, since her parents fled Hitler, she's Mexican. Who else? The president of Dominican Republic, Lebanese. All these heathens managed to infiltrate. If you want to talk about infiltration, you should look outside the I.S.U.P.K where you think you have the truth, but you don't. That's what you should look at. Talking about, look in-house. Look in your neighborhood. Akon infiltrated the music industry and is making billions off of you. Now what? Where's Akon from? St. Louis? What did he do for the people in St. Louis? What did he do for... Listen, Akon cannot have prevented Sexy Red from being the way she is. Akon cannot have prevented that. Akon would have never prevented that. Akon made songs about strippers so that now he created a Sexy Red from St. Louis. The heathens are only here to destroy you. You understand? And you cannot think about, let's gather with these heathens. We talked about that last time. Integration was a horrible experiment that failed. From the Greeks, from every single time we got in captivity, we followed the heathens, and it never went well. Now what? Christ said this again. Read this one last time. Salakia.
Matthew chapter 12, verse 25. And Jesus and Yahushua Salaka knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation.
Division it creates destruction. It creates instability. You understand? The frame, imagine that, right? If everything is not flush, I'm using terms of construction, right? You need to make the beams flush, meaning you need to make them straight, which lets you know you cannot be a sodomite, because even your house has to be straight. If your house is not straight, it's going to fall apart. Meaning what? If you're part of the LGBTQ community, your community is about to fall apart. I'm talking about your Black community, your Hispanic community, because you're not straight as the beams of your house should be, as the frame of your house should be. You have to be straight. I'm not just talking about your sexuality, but I'm talking about the foundation. You understand? Your foundation has to be straight. It has to be solid. Division where, one beam is crooked or is breaking apart. It just takes one stick, one crack in the frame, in the wall. You understand? One pipe to burst, and then what happens? It's the beginning of the downfall. Your house starts to fall apart. Why? Because all the components of the house are not united. That's how. You understand? You're stronger with your fist, with the 5 fingers of your fist closed. Let one finger open, right, on the palm of your hand. It could be your pinky or whichever finger. Now your hand is not as strong. You understand? And that's what Christ said. And now you want to still unite yourself with a people that is divided within itself? Finish the verse, Abu Kushar.
And every city or house divided against itself shall not stand.
And that also stands for you, so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, the real Israelites, not the long-nosed, cheap, penny-chasing mamzers, bastard, like the Bible calls them. You understand? Not them. Not them. Read the next verse.
Salakia, Matthew chapter 12, verse 26. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself.
Listen, if Satan casts out Satan, he's dividing against himself. Like, and this is, we're going to learn another precept because this is so heavy, right? You are trying to save white society when white society is destroying itself. Is that how you're trying to save white people from white people? To what avail? Like, what's the point exactly of trying to save white society that was built off of your blood, sweat, and tears? We're going to read another precept real quick, right? Finish that verse and when I get until I get the other precept real quick.
How shall this kingdom stand?
Listen, how will this kingdom ever stand knowing that they are dividing themselves? You understand? Imagine the white man, right? You see, when you do renovation, what's the first part of doing renovation? I renovated bathrooms, I did floors, walls, and whatnot. What's the first thing when you do renovation? You want to replace the old with the new. What do you do first? You demolish. Salaki, you wanted to say something?
I was going to say demolish. You got it.
There you go. One body, you understand? Demolition is the number one step. And this is exactly what they're doing. The only difference is that once those walls come down, the wall, the gyprock, the frame, he's not putting up new walls. I mean, at least not for his house, not for his kingdom. The new walls are going to be put up, are going to be ours. Walls that will never fall down, ever. That's prophesied in the Bible. You understand? They shall build our wall. I think it's Isaiah 60 and something. The heathens will build our walls. Listen, Saddam, I don't know about you, but I have a list. I speak to Captain Karatia all the time. Captain Karatia has me make a list of heathen to build his house, to build my mansion. And I'm not even joking. Said, make a list. He said, what's the culture vulture over there in London?
Which one? The white one?
Yeah. They're all white. Most of them. Shit. M.R. Yeah, we have him on the list. Sean Paul is not a brother. Sean Paul is the.
Man, I was shocked about Sean Paul, man. To this day, I'm so shocked.
He's a Portuguese Jewish man, and he's supposed to be the greatest dancehall artist right now. Sean Paul, one of the greatest culture vultures. That's what I'm gonna call you. You're a great culture vulture because Saddam, as you can see the flag, Saddam is a Benjamite from Jamaica. He's shocked Sean Paul is not a brother. For deceiving us, I'm adding you to the list. I'm adding him to the list. The point is this, right? We're trying to save this kingdom. And us trying to save this kingdom, trying to fix it, that's also in the Bible. Read Jeremiah chapters 51, verse 8. We'll go there and then we'll go into the articles. A lot.
Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 8. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed.
Listen, it's inevitable. The white man's kingdom is falling apart. It's destroyed. Don't think since COVID, I keep hearing, we're going to wait for the new normal. We're going to wait for the new normal. I'm listening to a brother, right, from Martinique, Evil Pichon. He said, ever since 2012, everything's going crazy. They say it's going to be better, but it's just getting worse and worse, as it's supposed to be, as it's prophesied in the Bible. Babylon is fallen. We're in captivity in a replica of the Babylonian Empire. That's why it's called Babylon, or the daughter of Babylon, and it's fallen and destroyed. You understand? Keep reading.
Howl for her.
You're gonna cry for her. Oh, we can't go outside no more. It's not like it used to be. Well, so some white woman said they complain about Brampton in Ontario. Say, yeah, it's too many Indian immigrants. It's not what it used to be. There's no more great white people. You understand? They're not even the worst. We're the worst ones. We're the worst, crying like, yo, it's not like it used to be. Some people are complaining, yo, I'm on what used to be one of the worst streets in Montreal. It used to be. Until this day, if you ask older people, they ask, yo, damn, Walkley, NDG, all the gunshots and all the criminal activities, and a bit further west, there's the Irish gang and whatnot. Damn. And people coming, it's not what it used to be. Do you want to go back to like gunfights and just seeing drugs everywhere? I don't remember last time in my neighborhood where I smelled crack on the streets. I don't remember. Like I growing up in my dad's building, I seen a few junkies just shooting shit up. Their veins. In the middle of the night, you hear some stuff going on in the hallway. You go into the staircase, you see like, what's going? It's like, damn, what's going on? The neighbor robbed the pizza guy and left the gun on the floor. He like, that what you want to go back to? Say, it's not like back in the days. Yo, back in the days, listen, it's not back in the days when you used to get lynched and there was laws for you to get lynched. Yeah, it's not like back in the days. You understand? Why are you complaining that you want white society to keep standing?
Thank you.
Right? Why are you complaining about that? Like, it's like you never want to be free. Our people have been beaten so much. We're the number ones complaining about Babylon is falling. We don't say literally Babylon is falling, right? Especially our Benjamites. We speak against Babylon, burn Babylon and things like that, right? But this is complaining about our oppressor's empire falling apart. And we're like, yo, damn, it's crazy. Like, we need to get rid of the Russians. We need to get rid of the Chinese. The AI is taking over. What's going on? Y'all tripping because y'all don't realize that the Bible is your record that told you that this would happen from thousands of years ago. You want to say something,
Salaka, if I may.
Go ahead.
Saying that things are so different. I'm talking about the older generation, especially here in Canada, that they decided to pick Canada over their families because they thought that Canada would give them a good pension, to be able to retire and live good in their old age. Now I'm seeing they're all working, all complaining, all grieving for Canada.
That's a fact.
Canada was they wish Canada was like back in the days when they had apartments for $600-700 a month and that type of stuff. Now they're really grieving. They really want Canada to come back.
That's a fact. What the brother's saying is fact. Listen, one of my dad's friend, he hooked me up with a job. I think it was right before I became a trooper. Right, I was working as a janitor in a synagogue, and now it seems like oppression is getting worse and worse for him. You know, look up, what's it called again? Little Jamaica in Toronto. This is a neighborhood. This probably the number one spot for Black people that has been neglected in the city of Toronto. No grants, no nothing. They don't get grants to take care of the buildings, the renovations. They don't get, subsidies or whatnot. All the heathens, and they put up construction to block the foot traffic so that now there's no more business going to Black people, who came here generations ago to build something, you understand, for their families. And shout out to the trooper. He just, you understand, him and Israel just got a baby. Mosai and Christ just got a little princess in the building, right? And I could guarantee you this. The princess, she might cry, to get fed. She might cry because, she needs to burp. She might cry to have her diaper changed. You know what she's not going to howl about? She's not going to howl for Babylon. That's what she's not going to howl about. You understand? She's not going to cry for goddamn Babylon, right? There's a princess that will not be raised just like our forefathers and mothers were raised. You understand? Complaining about the price of living is too much. I wish we could go back in the day. Canada was so great. Make America great again. Trump supporters. What's the Dottie Cooley name again? Kamala Harris, right? Whatever you vote for. People are complaining about France. Yo, France is not the same. Yeah, I remember back in the days there was less shootings and more shootings. Listen, be quiet. What made these countries so splendid for you to be like, yo, it's great? And I understand coming from a family of immigrants, right? And it's really, I don't want to say that to be, to push Judah's oppression to the side. I'm just giving us an immigrant perspective, because we come over here thinking it's a better life coming to the US. It's a better life coming to Canada. It's a better life outside the islands, just to see that we're oppressed the same way. That's really it. We're oppressed the same way. And guess what? Some Judites, they become what's the term again? There's a term they use. They move out the states.
Expat.
Yeah, expatriates. That's what they call it. They move out and they're like, well, damn, I'm still oppressed in Colombia. There's still racism, and you think, well, it's Latino racism. Well, the people who are arresting you and treating you like a nigga is most likely a Spaniard, right? And then you realize it's oppression everywhere. I thought it was going to be, around Black people in Colombia or in Jamaica or whatnot. And damn, we're oppressed the same way. You understand? There's no fixing this empire. We're about to see that right now. Read that whenever you could, Oksha.
Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 8. Babylon is suddenly falling and destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
Howl for her.
Listen, you're going to cry for her. You're going to cry. Let's fix this. Let's make Canada great again. Let's make America great again, where, we can all live together once more in unity. We're never united. Well, we need to make, as we're going to make these history classes, it's not just in the U.S. they destroy Black cities. I'm going to give you one. Africville in Nova Scotia. You understand? They destroyed the Black neighborhood of Little Burgundy, Bergs. You understand? For what? For Expo 60, what? Expo 67? You don't know about that. They ran Black people out of Alberta because the white man said, yo, you know what? We need farmers. So we want they were expecting Italians, some Eastern Europeans and Irish. None of these came over. You know who came though? Judites. Judites came. They're like, well, this is not who we wanted. Even though it benefited Alberta, they needed, they were giving away free land. And it benefited Alberta, the economy. White people would rather be poor than united with niggas. Not just in the US, but all over the globe. And these Judites that moved to Alberta and got that farmland, they learned it the hard way. And I guarantee, and even then, You know what they did? Read that again from
Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 8. Babylon is suddenly falling and destroyed. Howl for her.
They still howled for Babylon. And they still had hope in Canada. They still had hope that Canada is better than the US until they found out that it's not. It's the same. It's the exact same with free healthcare. That's it. Slovakia. Keep reading.
Take balm for her.
Take balm for her pain, meaning what? You're trying to fix it. You're going to take balm and put a Band-Aid on America's, wounds and flaws. You're trying to repair what's broken in the system. You're trying to fix the system from within. You're trying to fix society from within. You're trying to prevent it from going down.
Babes.
You understand? That's what you're trying to do. You can't.
It's making it hard for me to read.
You understand? Keep reading, Baba Kusha.
Khan. If so be she may be healed.
You're praying that, we're going to make this world great again. We're just going to go through this phase. We're probably never going to go to war. It's probably just a phase, which it is. But we are going to war. The next phase is our kingdom. You understand? It's our kingdom that will never fall. That's what the Bible says. 2 Ezra 6 and what? 6 and 9. Esau's the end of the world. Jacob's the one that beginning after. I'm just paraphrasing. But this is not the phase where you're going to overcome it as Canadian society, as American society. No. You wish you could. You're praying for her to be healed. Keep reading.
Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 9. We would have healed Babylon.
If you could, you would, but you can't. Keep reading.
But she is not healed.
But she's not healed. You cannot fix white society. Why would you even fix white society anyways? It's not your society. It's not your empire. Why would you make sure that white privilege is perpetual, meaning endures forever? It's not your privilege. It's the privilege of them being felons and sex offenders and becoming presidents. You cannot have the same amount of felonies. You cannot even have half the felonies of Donald Trump and be a janitor in McDonald's. What are you talking about? And this is what you're trying to fix? This is what you want to last forever? The Lord never planned it for it to last forever. And see, that's the thing. If you go against the fallen demise of white society, you go against God. And I hope every single Catholic, Christian, Baptist hears this. If you go against the fall of white society, if you go against the fall of white society, you go against God, because that's how God wants it. He wants us as we were supposed to be. If we obey, he wants us in power. White man is not made to rule. How do we know? He did not need our intervention to be divided. January 6th, when they stormed the Capitol and they literally defecated in a government building, they planned to rape that sister, Ocasio-Cortez. They said they were going to rape her in the government building. You understand? They assaulted security, police officers. A white woman died. White, blacks, Latinos, and Native had nothing to do with this. They do not need us to be the way they are. They don't. You know what they need us for? To keep them in check. We are made to rule. How do you know we're made to rule and nobody else? How do you know that? The majority of these Muslim leaders that push for Islam on the global scale, you know what they say? They want the Sharia law. They want to allow child marriages. They want to allow cutting your hands off. This is who should be ruling?
Allah.
You understand? What about the Asians? What about the Asians? You're gonna have COVID on a global scale because everybody eats rat and bat? They're the one who you think is going to be the next superpower. None of these nations have codes or regulations to be able to rule. None. Besides the nation of Israel, the real Israelites who are so-called blacks, Latinos, and native. This is why we are to rule. We are a nation. We are a royal priesthood. We are princes. You understand? We are the people who's supposed to be in charge. The Bible says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. When the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. China is complete. China just banned OnlyFans, and they're banning American TV shows because it's too gay. Salakia. It's too effeminate. They cannot push an effeminate image of men to Chinese society. That's what they said. They're banning OnlyFans because it's a plague of the West. That's what they said. The Chinese are mourning because the white man's in power. The Palestinians are crying and getting bombarded every day. Do you want to see pictures of Palestine before and after? You understand? Palestine looked great before the bombs. It looked amazing. In the 40s, right before the Jewish man came in and started, erasing even the land. Palestine looks like you drew a nice picture on a piece of paper, and this goddamn long-nosed, penny-chasing devil took an eraser and started erasing everything. That's what Palestine looks like today. It looks like a parking lot. You know why? Because the white man is in charge. That's why. You understand? White people are complaining about every goddamn thing possible on the face of the earth. That's something they should not even complain about. Why? Because the white man's in charge. He's not made to rule. Your children are not safe because a pedophilic agenda is being pushed. It's called NEMBLA, and it's called
man-boy. That's a man-boy love thing, isn't it?
MAPS, minor attracted people. That's what they call it. You know what? People are complaining about that the children are not safe because that is being pushed because the white man is in charge. Whatever wrong you see on the face of the earth, people complain about the ozone layer, animal. There's a species of dolphin. It's called the vaquita. There's less than 10 left in the wild because the white man's in charge. The Bible says, ask the earth, they shall tell you. Ask the beast, the fowls of the air, they shall tell you. How is it that butterflies are going extinct? Butterflies are going extinct. Imagine that. Good night. Out of all living beings, butterflies are extinct because the white man's in charge. Let me get that precept. Salaki. I'm being long-winded. And then we're going to go into these articles, and get back to the topic of the class, which is still a topic of the class. This is why you need to gather together. As we read earlier, a divided government, a divided kingdom cannot stand. That's why, as you are called to rule, blacks, Latinos, and natives have to be gathered together because you're the only government that was made to govern on the whole entire globe. And if you're divided, you can't rule. We just seen that. I mean, we've seen that. Besides, outside the Bible, you see every single kingdom. Listen, the Muslims are divided within themselves. They're definitely not made to rule. There's a Shia, there's the Sunni. I think in Iran there's a third. In Iran, or is it in Saudi Arabia? There's like a third or fourth sect of Muslims. That's diabolical. Read that real quick, Abu Kusha. Salakia.
Jeremiah chapter. Salakia. Proverbs chapter 29, verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice.
Everybody's gonna rejoice when we're in authority. People are gonna stop crying. You're not gonna complain. You're gonna stop trying to figure out a cure for all types of diseases. Why? Because cigarettes were not gonna be allowed. You understand? You're not gonna complain about, let's look for a cure for AIDS or the monkeypox. Homosexuality will not be in the kingdom. You understand? You won't have Amber Alerts. The kids are gonna be safe. Everybody is going to be safe. You understand? We don't have to complain and point the fingers at the Chinese for spreading COVID on the planet. Why? Because you can't eat bat. The laws is going to be, listen, the laws of the Bible is going to be the law of the land. You can't eat bat. You can't eat shrimp, crab, lobster. You won't have to, worry about high blood pressure. You won't have to worry about a worm crawling up your brain and laying eggs inside of you that are going to remain there for the next 20 years. Why? Because pork is unlawful. Therefore, pork eating will not be allowed. You won't even have to worry about pork in your toothpaste. Today, then you have to worry about pork in your oxygen. You won't have to worry about that in the kingdom. Why? Because we will be in rulership. We will be in authority. The law of the Bible will be the authority of the whole planet Earth. Read that one more time, Abu Kusha.
Khan. Proverbs chapter 29, verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice.
When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. When we are governing, when our authority, when people listen to what we say, they obey, they don't blink an eye, everybody will stop complaining. Everybody will be rejoicing. You understand? Reading?
Khan. But when the wicked bears rule, the people mourn.
That's why you complain that there's pork and everything. That's why. You complain about all sorts of stuff that you wouldn't probably be complaining about if the white man was not in rulership. You know that white man is the wicked. How? Because the earth was given to the hands of the wicked. He changes the faces of the judges thereof. Who changed the face of the judges, of the people who are to judge? Who changed the face of Christ? Who did? The Arabs didn't do that. It's like the Arabs didn't do that. There's no Chinese Jesus. There's no Polynesian Jesus. There is a white Jesus, though. The apostles, the priests and prophets were not painted like East Indians. They were made white. There's no such thing as East Indian washing. They don't slack. They don't wash. They jump in the Ganges River, swim around bodies and feces, and drink from it too. And this is literal. Y'all look this up. Y'all think we just say things. Y'all go look this up. They literally defecate and pee in the Ganges River where they throw bodies. So much bodies over there that there's a big catfish species and bottom feeder turtle that they feed on bodies in Indian Ganges River. And that's where they shower, and they also drink from it. But there's no such thing as East Indian wash. Not because they don't wash, but because they are not the wicked that is talking about in the Bible. In Proverbs, in Job, the Caucasian race, the descendants of Esau, the Edomites, are this wicked that is referring to in these scriptures. You understand? Now, we're going to get into these articles. We're going to get back. We're still in the topic. How our people, blacks, Latinos, and natives have to gather together. Let's get that real quick, right? Bear with me 1 second. It's not pulling up the article. Let me see. No sweat. So you're going to have to read what's on the left side. Let me share my screen. When we got it.
Khan. The white man's coming back.
Uh-oh.
Eight held over links to resurgent violence skinhead group.
Good night. The white man's coming back. 8 held over links to resurgent violent skinhead group. You cannot make this up. How do you know you can't make this up besides this article? Do we have to remind you that 2 white men conspired to invade Gonaïves in Haiti?
God.
To take over Haiti? They say, you can't make this up. 2 white men are saying, we're going to scheme a plan. We're going to take over Haiti. We're going to kill the man over there, take the women and children, and sell them as sex slaves. That was not in the early 1900s.
2025.
That was last year. That was like 3 months ago.
God.
The white man never left. They said the white man's... Damn, read that again, Baba Kusha.
Khan. The white man's comeback. 8 held over links to resurgent violent skinhead group.
Resurgent violent skinhead group. Let me help you out. It doesn't matter whether they're skinheads or not. These people are the most violent beings on the planet Earth. Literally. Like, you see how John Muhammad brought it out. I was at this Monday about buck fever. They get horny from killing. John Muhammad said, yo, listen, white woman, yo, you really, y'all trying to turn your husband on, have him tie a rope around your neck or some shit. Make him hold you at gunpoint. They get horny. They get excited from murdering. They're literally a bloodthirsty nation. That's in their nature. When it says really a resurgent violent skinhead group, listen, stop trying to put labels on our oppressor. Our oppressor is the devil the Bible speaks of. Let me get Ezekiel real quick, right? Ezekiel 35. Ezekiel 35. We'll start at verse 5. I'm going to show you the nature of our oppressor.
Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred.
Perpetual means what?
Non-stop.
Damn right. Perpetual means forever, from beginning to no end. That's what it means. Perpetual never ends. It's forever, non-stop. It begins somewhere and it never ends. Read.
Come. And has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity.
Do you wonder why they hung our pregnant women by their foot and slit their belly open, dragged the newborn out the belly and smashed his head across tree trunks and rocks? That's why. Why this? Listen, they used to skin newborn babies alive and feed them and splash them to alligators. You know for what? Oh, you would think they're probably getting rid of the nigger babies, right? They're getting rid of picnies. No, they're killing the niggas so they could kill gators. They use us as bait, just like you use the worm to catch a fish. Well, we were the worm to catch the gators. That's what they did. Why? Because of that perpetual hatred against us. They're the most violent nation on the face of the earth. They get excited. Even when the clip they brought up on Monday, they got excited from shooting a doe, a female deer, not a buck with antlers that could kill them by charging, even if it dies being shot in the head. They hunted the female. They hunted the weakling. That's what they did. They hunted that female that can't defend herself with antlers. You understand? That is not as imposing as a male deer or as a buck, as a moose. They hunted the female. She's going to run. You know, she's not going to try and fight. And they got excited. The video brought up, I don't want to bring up the video again, because this devil, after shedding blood, he started getting naked. Imagine that. That's the oppressor. Don't put labels on them. This is just how they are. From the one that wears like a nice suit like Donald Trump. I don't even want to say a nice suit. A suit like Donald Trump or these Christians, Nation of Islam, to the white trailer trash one that's high on meth, sleeping with his siblings. They're all the same.
Come on.
They don't wash their legs. You understand? They have a bloodthirsty. They have a bloodthirst. That's it. They're bloodthirsty people. The Bible told you that thousands of years ago. Read that one more time.
Come on. Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the sword of Salakia.
No sweat.
Blood of children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity.
They scalped native Indians and then they point their fingers at them like they're the savages. The white man has always been the savage. Always. From the beginning to no end. Perpetually. Read.
Khan. in the time that their iniquity had an end.
Read the next verse, Abu Kusha.
Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 6. Therefore, as I live, said the Lord, I will prepare thee unto blood.
I will do what?
Prepare thee unto blood.
Yo, listen. Did you know a shark could smell one drop of blood from miles away in the ocean? You see how accurate that is? The white man could smell it from eons and light years away. The white man has a better olfactory system when it comes to blood than sharks. I'm telling you right now. How do you know? I'm going to tell you how I know that. Because there are more shark casualties than human casualties. Oh, you're surprised. Sharks die more than humans. You know why? Because the white man is the devil the Bible speaks of. That's why. That's simple. Imagine the apex predator is really not an apex predator. When it comes to the white man on the scene, the white man is the apex predator. You understand? Why? Because it's a bloodthirsty nation. They get excited. They get horny. I mean, damn, they eat raw meat, and it had to be bloody. Like everything must have blood in it. Whether it's the food. Salaki, what's the Cleveland rapper that, what's his name again? The fake Eminem, Machine Gun Kelly. He and his wife, what was his girlfriend's name again? Yeah.
Oh.
They drink each other's blood. That's the point. Literally. They drink each other's blood. Listen, damn. Everything has to be bloody. They make a drink to the bar. It's called the Bloody Mary. Everything revolves around blood. Everything revolves around violence when it comes to our oppressor.
Megan Good.
Megan Good. Damn. No, impossible. It has to be the other Megan Fox.
Megan Fox.
Yeah, Megan Good's a sister.
Megan Fox.
Yeah.
Megan Fox.
No, don't do our sisters like that, dog. Damn. You know, don't do our sisters like that. Good night. You know, Megan Fox. And she looks like a whore.
Super,
you know, drinking each other's blood. Good night. Drinking each other's bloods, eating bloody steak, going on a bloody rampage. That's just their nature. They smell blood better than sharks. What's the name of the devil? He used to, they call him out because on steroids. He looks like Esau. Damn. What's the name of that devil?
Schwarzenegger?
No, Schwarzenegger is crazy. No, not a devil. He was viral on social media at some point, just eating raw meat. Pause. And
the raw liver guy.
Yeah. Raw Liver King. That's
Liver King. Yeah.
Let me show you a picture of Liver King. This nigga, by the way, he's definitely a sodomite eating. What are you eating? Bull testicles. This is Liver King. That's Esau right here, the red man, all hairy like a garment. He only eats raw bloody meat. Listen, damn, you see it right here? You see this right there? That's what we're reading about. They cannot live without blood. They can't. They smell blood. Listen good. They're the original Damus. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, they're the original Damus. You understand? They're the real Pyrus, right? The Pyrus in Compton have nothing on the white man. He's all about blood, literally. He's the real, true, violent being on the face of the earth. Right? And the only reason he's running wild is why? Because we're not ruling. Because we're disobeying the Lord. That's why we're not ruling. That's why he's able to run wild. If we were obeying the Lord, we would be put in a position of power where we would put everybody in check. He would not be able to run wild like he is. You understand? Let's get back to the article real quick before we get the other verse. Salakia. This is a violent skinhead group. The white man's violent without being in a skinhead group. That's why they have. That's what. Look at these devils. Damn. They just look like regular white boys. That's it. Salakia, read the Abu
Khan. 8 men linked to a violent racist skinhead group are in jail in the U.S. South, and felony conspiracy charges are awaiting extradition for hate crimes against Jewish and LGBT plus targets. Raw Story has learned.
That's crazy. You know why it's crazy? Because in 2022, when we had camp and John Hyman came to Canada for the first time, right? They put out an article. Benai Brith put out an article on the I.S.U.P.K. Let me see if I can pull it up and let's read it real quick, right? We were on the news. Yeah, let's read that real quick and let's see what they say about us.
Benai Britt warns Toronto authorities about haters' plans to rally in city this weekend.
Read the first part right here.
Toronto Benai Brit Canada is deeply concerned about the imminent arrival of a U.S. group in Toronto that promotes hatred of Jews, LGBTQ individuals, and white people.
That's a lie. That's propaganda. You know how we love Jews? Because we tell them to go back to following the law, statutes, and commandments. We love the Jews. You know how? Because we feed them. We clothe them. You understand? We do not let them prostitute themselves. We tell them to change their ways. We give them back their identity, which was stolen by Benai Brith and the rest of the Jewish community. We love the Jews. You know how I know I love the Jews? Because I love my brother Saddam. He's a Jew. He's an Israelite of the tribe of Benjamin. You understand? I love all the 12 tribes. We love the Jews because we tell them to stop smoking cigarettes. We tell them to stop being criminals. We tell them to gather together as the Jews were commanded. We tell them about their records. We love the Jews. We love the Jews because we teach in class. You understand? We love the Jews. We love the Jews. We love our Israelite women too. So much so that a lot of us must have more than one. That's how much love we got for our Israelite women. You understand? And these Israelite women, you know how much they love their husband? They never leave him. Never. That's true love. And the Jews, we have so much love that, you know how much love we have for them is how we show true love, which is following the laws, statutes, and commandments, as it says in the Jews' records, which is the Bible, from Genesis to the Revelation, including the Apocrypha. As far as the LGBT community that you say that we have no love for, we do have love for them. So much so that we're telling them to stop being homosexuals so they don't catch the monkeypox and die. We don't want them to die from AIDS. Therefore, we tell them to stop living the lifestyle that they adopted from their oppressor. We don't want them to kill themselves. So we tell them to change their ways. There is an alternative from that alternative lifestyle that will make you take your own life. You understand? There is an alternative. There is a solution to prevent you from unaliving yourself. There is. Number one thing to do is abandon that lifestyle that you adopted because you're not born this way. I found the clip last night. I keep saying I'm going to find the clip. I found the clip. This sodomite is saying himself, there is not one homosexual person that is born a homosexual. That is a lie. It's a homosexual telling you that. It's not me. He said it. I'm going to find the clip for next class. I'm going to play it. Right? And if I forget, y'all remind me. The point is this. You do have love for them. You tell them to change their way before it's too late. Change your way before you get the monkeypox. Change your ways before you unalive yourself. You know, you're going to hurt people by taking your own life. You're going to hurt yourself. Stop hurting yourself. You need counsel? We have counselors. That's how much love we have for them. And I say we hate white people. How do we hate white people? White people are tired of us. We say, well, let's separate from y'all. That's love. We care so much about you having black fatigue that we give you the solution. We're separating from you. How is that not love? How is that hate? White people are tired of niggas, spics, and savages. So we're telling them, well, you're tired of us, no sweat. Let's just separate from you. Now, if some other, you know, purple dress wearing Christian say they want to be around you, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge is not affiliated with anyone. No church, no mosque, no self-proclaimed fake Israelite or whatnot. No. You understand? But we have so much love that we're offering you the solution to white on white crime. Good night. We have so much love that we need to be in power so that cigarettes would be unlawful everywhere. Because on the pack it says cigarettes kill. Yet you white people still sell cigarettes to other white people. In Vancouver, in Canada, there was this white man selling drugs at a recreational amount. Crystal meth, crack, cocaine, fentanyl, ecstasy, Molly, everything. If we were in rulership, that would never happen. That's what we tell you. We need to be in rulership so that white people stop selling drugs to white people, really to everybody. Didn't you hear the Frenchman complain about Trump? You don't want to have another Trump just saying he's going to take over Greenland and Australia and Africa and whatnot. We need to be empowered to make sure everyone's in their place and that everyone is minding their own business. That's the love we have. Now, these two white boys really ate, apparently. They said they had a whole scheme, a violent scheme. Look at their faces. You could tell. They would tell.
You could tell.
You could tell. It's like, what's the movie again with I.S.U.P.K and Busta Rhymes? Higher Learning. They look like the one that's not chubby. He looks like Michael Rappaport before he shaved his head. Let me see if I get a picture. And Michael Rappaport is the Jewish guy. He looks like Michael Rappaport. Let me see Michael Rappaport, Higher Learning. Yeah, you see the resemblance? I think it looks like Timothy McVeigh. He looked like Eminem if Eminem would have shaved all facial hair, including the eyebrows. He just looks like a regular white man. He looks like the skinhead without the hair. Imagine that. You understand? He looks like this. That's what this devil looks like. And they had the same agenda. Now, B'nai B'rith, the Jewish people, what are you going to do about them? Are you going to, now that they're incarcerated, they must have allies somewhere. Are you going to investigate on them? See, we have the solution for white people to be safe from white people is that you should not be governing because this is the governing body. You understand? The governing body creates individuals like these, where white people are not safe. LGBTQ targets are not safe because we don't target nobody. We don't go to the gay village and assault people, but they plan to do it. Last time I checked, if I check again their mugshot, they're not black, Latino, or native.
Some good old boys.
Good old white boys. You understand? That's the problem. You need to get your priority straight. The priority is don't give us the keys to the city. You know, we don't. Keys to what city? The Lord will give us keys to the planet Earth. That's what he will do. You understand? It is inevitable. But what must happen first Don't you see everything that's going on? What must happen first? Let's go to Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1, right? Good night. Y'all need to stop me if I'm rambling too much. We're running short on time.
Nah, sir, you're doing great.
Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1. Read that, Babu Kusha.
Khan. Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourselves together. Yea,
What?
gather yourselves together.
It says, gather yourselves together. That's what it says. Keep reading.
Yea, gather together. O nation not desired.
Listen, gather together, O nation not desired. Everybody wants to be like white people. Clearly, it can't be talking about them. You know, the East Indian just stink and they don't wash. But, you know, besides that, y'all still want to go to India, convert your dollars to rupees and spend money over there. You understand? Indians, people tell us to be like Indians and be doctors. Good night. That operation room must smell like, oof, damn. Good night. Lord be with y'all with your East Indian sisters. So like that's his sisters. Good night, Salakia. Lord be with y'all with your East Indian woman. I don't know what that, you know, that marital room smells like, but oof, damn. Oh, Salakia. You understand? It says, oh, nation is not desired. You know, it's not talking about the Arabs. They keep boasting about, yo, we're spreading Islam around the world. All right, it's good for you. But that means that you're not the nation not desired.
Come on.
That's what it means. Where's the propaganda? Islam is so great. So it cannot be talking about gathering with you. You know what it's talking about? It's talking about gathering with the people whose culture you steal. So-called niggas. So-called spics. So-called savages. Because everybody wants to be native, but nobody wants to live on the res. Everybody wants to be Latino. Nobody wants to be in the barrio. Everybody wants to be black, but nobody wants to be in a shanty town. You understand? Nobody wants to get racially profiled. They want to be niggas without being niggas.
God.
It's talking about so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. This is what we should do before being in this governing body. Why? Because we were ordered to do so. And time is running short. Time is running short. It says, gather yourselves together. And the Most High said, we're so stubborn, and he knows we're stubborn. He called us a stiff-necked people. He had to tell us twice. You understand? Read that again, Abu Kusha.
Khan. Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
Listen, he had to tell us twice, so much so that we're stubborn. Gather yourselves together, O nation not desired. We're the only people that everybody hates. Listen, they were talking so much crap about Naomi Osaka. Why? Because she's Haitian first. She's Haitian. She's not Japanese. You know, she's not gonna rock the U.S. flag. She's gonna rock her Haitian pride. You know, shout out. Listen, she loves her father. That's what she's showing. She's not shaming her father. You understand? He may not have been there throughout her whole life, but she's not shaming her father. Unlike what's the sisters that play tennis? One of them looks like the lion from the Wizard of Oz now.
That Serena.
Yeah. The Williams sisters.
The Williams sisters. Khan.
They're shaming their dad. Their dad's, he worked so hard to make sure, they're not.
He was actually in their life the whole time.
And he was there
the whole time.
But what did they do?
Everything.
They decided to become bed wenches. They decided to become, damn, I don't even have a word for it. They're disgusting. They decided to be traitors. That's what they decided to be, sleeping with these white, disgusting bastards, right? I think one said she actually not having sex until or whatnot, but that doesn't matter, right? I'm talking about the one that looks like the Wizard of Oz. I don't know which one. You understand? Salaki. Yeah, you didn't see that picture? The point is this, right? We need to gather together to be the governing body. We've seen it earlier. Christ said, a kingdom divided cannot stand. How are we going to be able to rule if we're not together? How are we going to be able to prevent these white violent insurgent looking like Michael Rappaport with hair? How can we prevent that if we're not together? We need to keep people in check. And the Bible says we will put everybody in check. You understand? But the number one thing is this: gather together. Protect your brothers from ICE. Protect your brothers. Listen, and you see how it says ICE only affecting Latinos, right? It affects Black people too, and not just Haitians and Benjamites. It affects Judites as well. A Judite got threatened to be deported. Matter of fact, I'm going to show you how it also affects Native American Indians. General Q sent this video, right? Shout out to General Q, by the way. Shout out to John Kubala Moth. Let me share this. ICE is arresting Gadites, so-called natives, at the U.S.-Canadian border. And they're taking away their native status cards from them. Let me share this clip real quick.
Hundreds of Sheshawan First Nation evacuees here in Niagara Falls. This border crossing is just a short walk away. But the First Nation is directing its members to stay on the Canadian side following concerning actions by ICE in the U.S. Nearly 900 evacuees arrived at several Niagara Falls hotels earlier this month after a water crisis forced them from their Northern Ontario community. The First Nation is citing, quote, heightened patrol enforcement measures in the U.S. as a safety concern for those who wish to cross. But the warning is not isolated here.
These are targeting aspects, right? I mean, they essentially are targeting people of minority.
Ontario Regional Chief Abram Benedict says he's aware of at least one First Nations man who was detained by ICE and brought back to Canada, his status card seized.
He was quite fortunate to have an interaction just like that. So we definitely don't want any First Nation member in the United States getting put into detention center.
We could pause it right here, right? They're arresting. ICE is going after the First Nations, stealing their status card at that. Let me show you what Indian that ICE is not going after, though, right?
This is Sidhu, an Indian criminal that runs a human smuggling business, sneaking people across the U.S.-Canadian border for 6,000 Canadian dollars. He advertises his services on Instagram Reels at Sidhu, New York, funneling them to his WhatsApp number in his bio, where he'll then arrange the smuggling logistics.
All right, I'm headed to a one-star hotel to get trafficked by Sidhu into the USA. Obviously, I'm not going to actually enter the USA. Wish me luck. Hopefully, I don't get killed.
Are you with Sidhu? Okay. No.
No, all English.
Yes.
You from?
Portugal.
Portugal.
You?
India.
Punjab?
Yeah.
How long you been in Canada?
3 years.
3 years.
Permanent residence. You go to USA legal.
Keep me safe. I want to get this over with. What was your name?
Jasveer.
I trust you. Let's go. He begins speaking Hindi into a translator to explain to me in English exactly how the border crossing is going to work. First, I had to get picked up by Sidhu's driver, get driven to their safe house near the border, wait until nighttime, and then get driven into America. What are the chances things go wrong at border?
20%.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's great income.
Okay, things are getting shicey. 3 Sikh homies in turbans came out in the middle of.
Yeah, we could stop right here. This is the point, right? They're going after the nation that is not desired. They're not going after East Indians. They're going after so-called North American Indians. You understand? Again, you don't see ICE raids in Chinatown. You don't see ICE raids in Brampton, what they call Browntown. You don't see ICE raids anywhere else but with so-called Latinos, so-called Black people, so-called, natives. Apparently, they're natives. They still get threatened with deportation. What the climate we're seeing right now in our precious kingdom, wherever we dwell, is the Gestapo. What's the Gestapo? It's the Nazi army. The Nazis are actually threatening the real Jews. Not the Jewish, the Jews, the real ones. The Jews know ish by blood, not by conversion since King Bulan, by blood. Descendant of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Not Esau, Jacob. You understand? That's why we have to gather together. Who's going to help us? These East Indians help each other for what? 6 bands? 6 bands they cross between the US and Canada. Right here. Listen, did you see the video? This man was in Montreal. This man goes Montreal, Toronto, Niagara Falls, whatnot. They cross illegally into between the US and Canada. ICE, what are you doing about it? I thought you were here to arrest illegal immigrants. So far, you're arresting US citizens, right? Not even criminals. You're going to Home Depot arresting honest US citizen workers. You're deporting Haitians. You're deporting Latinos, Venezuelans, Mexicans, Salvadorians, and whatnot. You're deporting First Nations whose land you stole and then you put on reservation, but you're not doing no ICE raids on East Indian communities where we have footage of them crossing the border illegally for $6,000. And then you say that we're all equal. Why don't you equally arrest them? Aren't we supposed to be all equal? They're illegal immigrants on footage.
Come on.
What's the problem? ICE. Why are you going after us? What is it that we have to do to not be the marginalized group that's targeted by ICE? Because you're not going after Eastern European illegal immigrants. This white woman said her dad has been in America for the longest time, and he's a criminal, and he's a drug addict, you know, a repeated offender, and he's still illegal.
It's crazy.
But ICE never targeted him. I think he's from Ukraine or Belarus or whatever, one of the Eastern countries over there, right? Why aren't you going after the Africans? I mean, you clearly have no issues going after black people, but it seems like you're targeting a specific black people. They just deported some brother whose dad, I think, was in the army. They deported him to Jamaica. This man never been in Jamaica in his life. He's born in the U.S. military base. He's deported to Jamaica. Another brother got deported to Trinidad. I think another one to Barbados. We're countries that they have never been to. And then you say, we're not targeted? The Bible says, you know, we can't go in our streets no more. They hunt our steps. What is it? Lamentations 4:18. We can't go in the streets no more. People are afraid to even go outside. They can't even go take their kids outside, the kids to the groceries, right? So like, for time's sake, I'm going to tell you what we need. We're going to need brotherhood. Imagine you as a Latina or Latino brother or sister, you're afraid to go outside. As a matter of fact, it did happen. Black teachers were preventing ICE from coming to scoop up Latino children in school. They said, no, you ain't touching these children. We're going to wait for the parents, and if not, we're going to bring them home. That's the brotherhood we need. We could only achieve that if we what? Let's bring the precept again. This is how we're going to achieve it. Read.
Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
By gathering together, we would have brotherhood. You understand? It's so great for brothers to dwell together. It's so great that we could take care of each other. I did the class with Officer Kazaka Ahmad and Officer Malak. We have nothing but one another. We can't make it on our own. We're going to need help. We're the only help we got. You understand? The I.S.U.P.K is the only help you got. You're going to have to gather together. Because one thing is to gather, then again, you have to be able to dwell together. You have to be able to be long-suffering one another. And you can't learn how to be so outside the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Because you learn division by following the heathens who are outside the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. The body of Christ is where you have real unity. Haitians talking about l'union fait la force. L'union fait force là, right? Unity is strength. That's what it's saying in Creole. Y'all divided like hell. Some of y'all are Catholics, some of y'all are voodoo priests, wasting chicken as opposed to feeding the hungry, drinking pig's blood, never fixing the country. Imagine that. You can't be gathering together if you're not on a same state of mind, on the same wavelength. Right, we'll get back to the precept in a second. Let's go to Philippians chapter 2, verse 2 real quick. Philippians chapter 2, verse 2.
Philippians chapter 2, verse 2. Fulfill ye my joy, that ye be like-minded.
Listen, like-minded. Being on the same wavelength. And it's not talking about, music. You might listen to rock, I listen to hip-hop or dancehall, you listen to country. It's not talking about that. You have the same morals. You understand? Your kids are safe over here. You don't have to worry about, are they going to feed my kids pork? Are they going to, cash in a check by bringing my kids to ICE? You let us on the reservation, you don't have to worry about us bringing you poisoned water. Nasty, filthy, disgusting water. We'll give you spring water. Well, listen, go look up what the mission to Acuna. You understand? You need us on reservation to bring water to the res. We'll bring water to the res. You don't have to worry about being robbed. You don't worry about being hustled. You understand? Brotherhood is our culture. We take care of one another. We're going to need to gather together because we're the only thing we got. They're not going to take care of us. They're not. You understand? One thing is to gather together, but you have to make sure you're like-minded. You're on the same wavelength. I don't have to worry about leaving my kids to you and you're going to eat pork and feed my kids pork. I don't have to worry about leaving my kids to someone and start to worry about, is my child going to get molested? No children is ever getting molested in the I.S.U.P.K. No women are getting abused in the I.S.U.P.K. No man is being shamed or abused in the I.S.U.P.K. You understand? Salaki, read that again.
Philippians chapter 2, verse 2. Fulfill ye my joy, that ye be like-minded.
Read.
Having the same love.
Having the same love. What's love? For time's sake, right? Love is following the commandments. What's it? 1 John 2 and 5. It's 1 John 5 and 3. Salakia. 1 John 5 and 3. What is it? The love of God is to follow the commandments. Love of God is brotherhood, not to eat pork. You don't have to worry about me sleeping with your women. I know it's your women. I don't care. Listen, she married. She's off limits. You don't have to worry about anyone approaching your woman a certain way. She married, she won't be touched in here. You understand? You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about, getting put on the front lines, being sacrificed like a pawn just to get rid of you. Why? Because I don't know. I don't like how you talk to me. I don't like what you said to me. I don't like your I don't like your attitude. We have laws, we have rules for every single aspect of our lives. I have a disagreement with a brother, you go to him or him alone. Women don't have to worry about being thrown away like a nasty, filthy, dirty sock that you're not going to wear no more. Why? Because, hey, I marry you and it's forever. You understand? If I marry another one, both of you are forever. The 3, 5, 10 of you are forever. You don't have to worry about not being protected. It's all about black men don't protect black women. Well, maybe they should come into the school, learn how to protect black women. Maybe you should come into the school as well to be protected as a black woman. When I say black, I mean black, Latina, and Native. You understand? We're the only thing we got. The day is coming where they're going to go after you, and you're going to have to rely on the mayate that you like to call like that, right? You're only calling them mayate because you learned how to hate black people from white people. And you call Mexicans all types or Latinos all types of derogatory terms because you learn how to hate them from white people. Same with the natives, so on and so forth. We learn how to hate each other from white people. Now, when we look at our culture, at our code of conduct and our rules, we have to love one another. If we do the opposite, I mean, we just follow heathens and we follow white people. The Bible is not white. Everything in the Bible goes against everything that white people do. The proof is they don't even love one another. And just as that, the Bible speaks against homosexuality. They're the biggest, they're the most lascivious, disgusting sexual deviants on the planet. They probably learned that behavior from another nations, like the Egyptian, but they did what Egypt did 100-fold. You understand? Egypt, what was Egypt again? They had brothers and sisters married to keep the royal bloodline. They just have brothers and sisters and marry in trailer trash park. Okay. Imagine that. They don't have to be president to sleep with their sister. They do that in the trailer park in Alabama, in Florida. They don't even need to be in the South. Damn, they do it anywhere. You get it? The Bible is not a white man's book. When you go outside the Bible, it's because of the white man. He told you to go outside the Bible. He told you it's a white man's book. Just like he stole the land, he stole your records. And he's showing you he stole your records. How? The Los Lunas stones, the Bat Creek stones. There's the 10 Commandments written in Hebrew. You know that Hebrew is the language of the Israelites. The Bible is nothing all about the Israelites. Can't you make the correlation right here? It's your book. It's your moral code. It's your record. You're going to need brotherhood in these last days. You have no choice. Sisters, you're going to need a man. Brothers, you're going to need brothers to know how to treat that woman, how to treat those children, how to treat your brothers. You understand? It's as simple as that. And you really don't have a choice. Where's the proof? Natives, First Nations are getting arrested and threatened with deportation. Where are they going to get deported? Aren't they supposed to be on their land? And that's the problem. We have to come back to the laws, statutes, and commandments to know how to treat one another, right? To be like-minded, the same love. The only love we got is the love of the Lord, the love of God, which is following the commandments. Read that again, Baba Kusha. We're almost running out of time. We're going to get a few more precepts and then we're done with the class. I like it.
Philippians chapter 2, verse 2. Fulfill ye my joy, that ye be like-minded, having the same love, being of one accord, of one mind.
Being of one accord and one mind. It's not about different music taste or y'all. We say plantain, y'all say plantain. That's not what it's about. You know, you rather like the shower lukewarm, and some of them like scalding hot. Some of them like prefer cold showers. That's not what it's about. It's about having the same moral code. You understand? Nobody eats pork over here. Nobody commits adultery. Sister, she's mad at you. She's not going to be a whore and sleep with another man. The kids are raised right. You don't have to worry about your kids being indoctrinated by any, rainbow agenda. And I hate to say rainbow because they stole that from us. Shit, they stole everything from us. They're made just like, what's the scripture say again? The sign is talking about the Magan Dawada, how it lost its honor. People see this, they associate it with something bad because of these imposters over there, right? And some weed smokers associated with like black magic or some dumb stuff, right? Just like they associate the rainbow with homosexuality. The rainbow was a sign of the covenant that, if I'm not mistaken, the Most High will not flood the earth no more. You understand? But they had to steal that from us. It's like they stole the Magan Dawada from us. Right? The point is, you don't have to worry about your kids being indoctrinated and being taught wrong. You don't have to worry about, worry about, is my woman going to dress half naked around these brothers when we're struggling and we're all huddled up in the same apartment building or complex? You don't have to worry about that. Your wife is taught right. Your daughters are taught right. Your sons are taught right. Your brothers, your fathers, mothers, all the nation is taught right. And where did they get that teaching? In the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. We have classes every day in every zone. You have no excuse not to be taught. Just like you have no excuse not to know you should not cross a red light. You should stop at a stop sign. You know, you're being taught that. It doesn't just come up. You're taught that. You understand? It's going to be second nature for us. Like the law is written in our hearts, in our inner parts. We damn near don't have to think. Brothers, a lot of them, it's like, yo, I went to buy some veal last time, right? You know, because veal, you can't eat all the veal. It has to be weaned, right? Some brothers would go, yo, I need to make sure the veal is weaned before I buy it because it might be unlawful. Then again, you don't want to overthink it either, right? So let me give you a better example. It's damn near second nature to, when you buy chips, you look, yo, is there pork in the chips? Because we know pork is in the chips. Listen, coming in the truth. Now I memorized. I memorized the chip brand that have no pork in it. I used to pull out my phone and go like, yo, which Cheetos has pork? Lay's pork. That's how I used to be. Until I just memorized it. But it's like nature's like, yo, even when you go to a sister, right? You ask her them things. So, yo, if she has a man and where she's from on her father's side, because looks could be deceiving. I was at the dog park. I'm talking to someone who I think she's a sister. Like, yo, where you from? Oh, well, Black American from Florida. I say, well, damn. But my father is a whole European white man. I say, well, she had to put the emphasis. It's crazy. I say, yo, I said, the white man is the devil. You know, but it's like when we're on one accord, with that one love, not like the one love Bob Marley was singing about. Besides him being a devil, he was talking about Christianity. What is it in Jamaica? Out of many, one people. That's one love in Jamaica. Integration. That's not love according to the Bible. Segregation is. Us gathering with one another is. You understand? Especially in these last days. You're going to have no choice but to gather together. Let's bring that verse one more time, Babu Kusha.
Come. Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
Gather yourselves together, O nation not desired. I mean, what is there more to explain? The Bible is all about segregation. It's all about you being under one roof. Literally. You can't gather together and preach about integration. You're not gathering together. You're separating yourself to be in the melting pot. Not supposed to be. That soup is nasty. It's disgusting. It's bitter. You understand? How are you going to blend something that tastes either nasty or that has no taste to the greatest food on the planet? Imagine this. We're talking about gathering tacos, gathering jerk chicken, gathering that ijon, gathering the empanadas. Listen, the native tacos, the best fish I ever had in my life was a recipe from a Gadite sister. She was a student of my mom, my mom teaches French, right? She brought us the best salmon recipe on the planet. We're talking about gathering these recipes together. Not blending in with unseasoned, uncooked chicken. You know, in Morocco, they eat snails. You want to gather with that? You want to gather with the bat eaters, the rat eaters from Africa? You want to eat monkey sirloin? You're supposed to be segregated from that. That's how you die from diseases. Ebola, anthrax, COVID. Whatever parasites snails transmit to whoever eats them. You understand? It's not in our culture to eat conch shell and sea snail in the Caribbean. We adopted that from slavery. Just like it's not Haitian culture to eat fried pork. That griot, that's from slavery. You understand? We are to gather together all these amazing recipes, these 12 tribes, the salsa, the merengue, the dancehall, the soul, the blues. You understand? Not, I was going to say white people music. White people steal the music and just make it unbearable. You know? We're supposed to gather all 12 flavors together. Not poison, not anthrax, but life. Not death. You understand? And you gather with death when you mingle with these heathens. Salaki, let's read the next verse.
Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 2. Before the decree bring forth.
Before the decree bring forth, before the day of the Lord comes. Before the Lord says, Yahweh, it's time. Before he tells Christ, fall on them. There's gonna be more and more oppression until Christ comes back. When he comes back, he's not for giving hugs and kisses and flowers and chocolates like you're about to do, in 2 weeks? You know, you sodomite simp for Valentine's Day, worshiping a whore? What's her name again? Aphrodite? Or something like that? You know, Christ is gonna come to cut heads off. Just like the Haitians, Kupetet Bulikai, cut their heads off and burn their houses down. Before that day happens, you need to gather together under one roof. Make your election sure. Change yourself. Help you. How can you help the people change and be a change for the people if you can change yourself? You have to before it's too late. It says gather together basically before it's too late. Keep reading.
Before the day pass as the chaff.
You understand? That's like you see in the old Western movies, that little not dust ball, it's like
tumbleweed.
Yeah, the tumbleweed. That's what they call it. You see, it's just like, oh shit, it just passed, and then they have a duel. The bullet's fired or whatnot. Someone's dead, someone's not dead, someone's injured, or what. You get the point. Is gather together before it's too late. Read.
Before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you.
You understand? Because Revelation 18:4 says what? Come out of my people if you don't want to be partakers of her plagues. They're going to be punished. Plagues are going to come on this kingdom. If you don't want to die from COVID, you better separate from them and gather with your people. You better come to class. You know what happened if you would come to class and you stop selling drugs? You would not go to jail. You know, how do I know that you would not go to jail if you stop selling drugs? You would not get arrested for selling drugs because you'd be too busy in class studying the scriptures, doing your 90 days, getting your Hebrew name. How do I know that you will not be stacking up a body count and getting the monkeypox by sucking nasty penises? You be in class. You don't have time to be a whore when you come to class. You don't have time to stack up body count when you come to class. You understand? You don't. You study these scriptures. You change yourself. You become a new creature in Christ. And if you need help, you need counsel. Why? Because you have an addiction. You know, we have counselors. Whatever issues, you have an addiction, you have depression, you have stress, you have, I don't know, baby mom, whatever problem you have, I don't know. We have all the problems in the world. We also have all the solutions. Number one is come to class, call your camp leader, look up I.S.U.P.K in your zone. That's the number one thing to do. You understand? And you need to, and that's how you're going to start gathering together as ordered before the fierce anger of the Lord comes upon you. Keep reading.
Before the day of the Lord's anger come upon you.
Listen, the day of Christians talk about the day of the Lord, the day of the Lord. It's going to rain fire up in the sky. You don't want the day of the Lord to come. Commanding General YAHANNA said this. I don't know for those who didn't watch the lecture he had at the Chicago Cookout, right? It's easy to take a life, not easy to lose one. It's not about are you ready to take a life? if what people call shit hits the fan, is, are you ready to see someone die? Imagine seeing a child die in front of you. Imagine seeing your own child die in front of you. That's the day of the Lord. It's about to be even worse than when so-called shit hits the fan. Imagine Noah had to get drunk after the flood. He's seen damn near everybody being erased. It's sad. They don't listen. It's not because they don't follow the Lord. Like, we have also have family members outside the truth. You still love them. It's your mom, it's your brother, it's your cousin, right? Let's say they never come to the truth. You're gonna a lot of us are going to weep for them. And it's not wrong to weep for them. It's our family members. Imagine Noah. He lost his auntie, he lost his neighbor. He probably was good with them. He cried. The day of the Lord is going to be something that we think is spectacular coming out of captivity. It's really going to be horrible on all sides. Because don't think, yes, it's going to be amazing. I'm going to watch from chariot to drink, popcorn, laugh. Imagine seeing your own mother die. However, she gets run over by a tank, or Christ cuts her head off. Who knows? You're not going to be like, hey, Most High in Christ, see you in the kingdom. No, you're going to cry. You're going to shed tears. The day of the Lord it's going to be horrible. But it's going to be worse if you don't gather together before it's too late. Why? Because you're going to be on the wrong end of receiving his anger. Salakia. You're going to be, how could I say this? You're not going to be in the right place. The Bible said what? In Isaiah, go in the little chambers, in the chariots. You're not going to be on the chariots. If you're not on the chariots, well, good night. It's going to be horrible. Whether it's a child, whether it's your mom, your grandma, yourself, it's going to be a lot of pain and suffering. Christ's garment is going to look like it's been dipped in blood. Go dip a piece of cloth in water. You know what happens? It's dripping. It's so much soaked in the water that the water is dripping from it. That's how Christ's garment is going to look like. The only difference is that it's going to be blood. So much blood that the blood is dripping from his garment. You understand? Let's get real quick. Two last precepts. I'm going to end the class. Y'all click the sign in and sign out links in the class. Check in, do your 90 days, get your Hebrew name, and gather together before it's too late. Read that, Okusha.
Amos chapter 3, verse 3. Can two walk together except they be agreed?
That's why you have to gather together. Under one accord, one mind, like-minded, one spirit. Because you're going to be Christian, the house is going to be divided. You're a Christian, he's a Israelite, he's a Muslim, she's a whore, he's a junkie. Your kids, the boy want to dress as a girl, and you're like, yeah, my boy, don't do that. One of them celebrates Christmas. That's how we have to get together and be on one accord, right? So, let me get Isaiah real quick. Isaiah chapter 14. Is it 14? Isaiah chapter 14, verse 1.
Isaiah chapter 14, verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel.
Listen, the Lord will have mercy on us and will choose us, blacks, Latinos, and native, the nation that nobody likes, the niggas, spics, and savages. We are the chosen people. You understand? Everybody who rejects us, guess what? The Lord is choosing us. Keep reading.
And set them in their own land.
That's how we're back in our own land. In these final days, we will be back in the land of flowing milk and honey. Read.
And the strangers shall be joined with them.
You shall not be joined with the strangers. They shall join themselves to you. They will follow after you, not the other way around. We already see what happened. You know what happened when we follow after them? Black fatigue, war on drugs, war in the Middle East, lynchings, corruption, sedition. What's it called again? Civil war. That's what happened because we want to follow them, but they have no leadership. They can't lead. They can't rule. They can't govern the planet. We are made to do so. Read.
Come on. And they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
They will be like, yes, no sweat. We can't eat pork. They're not going to argue with us. We read it earlier. They will rejoice. You Arabs want us to lead. Y'all talking about, oh, the white man the white man is haram, he's haram. There's pork and everything. If Israelites rule, there will not be pork. Because if Muslim rule, you could still eat pork in the Quran. If Israelites rule, there is absolutely not pork on any single ingredient on any goddamn thing. Whether you eat it, you brush your teeth, you drink your water, there's not going to be pork and bacon smell in the air ever. You understand why? Because we'll be ruling and you'll be cleaving to us. You'll be abandoning your pork exception to where you never eat pork in your life. Read verse 2, Abu Kushab.
Khan. Isaiah chapter 14, verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
And the people shall be taken.
The people shall take them.
Salaki, and the people shall take them.
Mm-hmm.
And bring them to their place.
We will put everyone in their place. We will let everyone know, hey, yo, listen, no more pork eating. It's still over there. And over there, ain't no monkey eating. Ain't no rat eating. Leave the bats alone. Leave the catfish alone. Leave the water filters alone. Meaning what? You're not eating mussels. You're not eating oysters. You're not eating, what is another water cleaner? Crawfish, shrimp, everything that cleans the water, leave it alone. It's there for a purpose. So the water is clean. It's not filthy and murky and full of feces. You understand? And why are you even eating this? That tangy, however you say it, feeling in your mouth is the dirt that they filtered from the water. Then you complain about diseases from these invertebrates or seafood. Well, put everybody in their place. Well, check the hell out of everybody. Stay in your place and do what you're supposed to do. Build my house. Pick my cotton. Shine my shoes. Saddam needs a garment. Make his garment. Good night. Clean my windows. Apparently, Asians are good at cleaning. That's what I heard. You understand? Do you want to be put to good use? Put to good use. And guess what? In the kingdom, you don't have to worry about child trafficking. You just have to raise up your children on wherever plantation you'll be at. When they grow of age, he's going to clean the windows as well. The point is this: you'll be put in your place and it'll be righteous rulership. Keep reading.
Khan. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids.
See, I did not make this up when I say you're going to clean my windows. You're supposed to be a servant and a handmaid. Heathens are made to serve. We are made to rule. That's it. We served at the hand of every violent heathen. Well, they're all violent. The point is we serve them. Isn't it justice that they serve us in return? We pick cotton. Shouldn't they pick cotton? We pick sugarcane. Shouldn't they pick sugarcane? The difference is that, right? We have laws that would prevent us from doing what you did to us. Like dip you in a boiling hot sugar water. We can't do that. You did that. That's not us. So don't fear being captive or serving at our hands. We can't do what you did to us. We have rules and moral codes of conduct. You rape our women, we can't rape your women. We're not like that. We're not like you. We're not wicked. But you will serve. You will serve, whether you like it or not. And that's the crazy thing, right? You will appreciate serving under us. You will appreciate it. The reason why you're in mourning is because everybody served under the white man. Good night. Imagine that. The Asians try to copy the white man. Now people are literally working themselves to death. Was it in Japan or China? They're jumping off buildings.
Come on.
That's not going to happen with us. You're going to be glad. You know what? You're going to be glad that on the Sabbath, you don't work. You get a rest day. On the Sabbath, you rest. Satan might be lenient enough that he gave you 3 days off. Me, I can't say that. I have a list. I just know that on the Sabbath, you will be off. That's what I know. You understand? On Sabbaths, you'll be off. Besides the Sabbath, hey, listen. Blood, sweat, and tears built this kingdom. That's all I got to say. Our kingdom will be built righteously, though. Keep reading, Salakia. Finish the class.
And they shall take them captive.
Read.
Whose captive they were.
That's exactly what it says in Revelation 13 and 10. Whoever leading into captivity shall go into captivity. We were captives at the hands of every single of these nations. You can read that in Psalms chapter 83. They said, let us take the house of Israel into possession. They possessed us. It's our turn to be the possessor, the captors. You will be our captives. But unlike the captivity under the white man, who just pillage and rape and murder everything, build my house, build my mansion, clean my windows, say, groom my dog. I don't want to brush the dog and dog hair flying all over the place. That's your job. Clean the pig pen, because I don't mind having pigs. They're going to be garbage animal. They're not going to be to eat. They're going to be to clean, though. If you know, you know. Mm-hmm. You understand? And you will be glad that, damn, finally, the earth is replenishing. You know, there is not going to be any homelessness in the kingdom. People are not going to starve to death in the kingdom. They only starve to death over here. Why? We have laws that, listen, fruits are dropping from my tree. I'm not supposed to pick every single fruit to prevent anyone from taking it. Whoever it is, pick it, eat it. The white man is not like that. We have laws. We have rules, codes of conduct that we abide by. Yes, now let's finish the verse real quick.
And they shall rule over their oppressors.
We will rule over our oppressors. And we are oppressed by every single 17 nations on the planet Earth. Every single one of them. Read this last verse and then we're done with the class. Salakia.
Isaiah chapter 14, verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow.
This is when we'll be able to rest. The first step is to gather together and suffer until rest finally arrives. In the kingdom, we'll be able to rest. In the kingdom, we'll be able to have a drink, not because we're oppressed, just to chill. A lot of us drink right now is us, I'm oppressed. I need a break. This is our perpetual break that is being prophesied right now. Perpetual meaning there's a beginning, but there's no end to that break. You know why? Because this is the last kingdom that'll be brought up. Why is it the last one? Because it will never fall. We will rule. Christ will rule forever and ever and ever. And beyond. Metaphor just to say it's going to be perpetual. Our rest is perpetual from there. The first step is for you to come to class, to gather with your brothers and sisters. Blacks, Latinos, and Native are the real Israelites, the 12 tribes. They're brothers. They're one and same blood, one and same family. You understand? They won't be able to rest until the kingdom of the Lord is established. And then it says again, the Lord will give us rest from our sorrow, from our pain, from being arrested by ICE, from being lynched, from being profiled every day, from being denied credit, from being denied housing, from having to worry about what I'm going to put on my plate tonight because I'm starving. You understand? So like you finish the verse, Abakusha.
And from thy fear and from thy hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve.
This is when we'll be done with slavery. Our captivity is coming to an end. It will end finally, forever, once the kingdom is established. With that said, I'm Priest and Officer Baraki. I had Trooper Satan with me. We're going to end the class right here. Make sure y'all click the signing and sign out links in the class. We're going to get a security announcements, right? Pay your tithes, pay your password fee, isupk.com. You understand? Make sure you gather together as ordered, right? With that, I'm going to read the security announcements. The water again, Israel. To everybody who tuned in, shalom. Security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K. started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they're off limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They're here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After the 6 months period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 to 10. It means 10th in the Hebrew, ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocation, we have coming up Purim, which is the 14th day and the 15th day of the 12th month, which falls on Monday, 2nd of March, and Tuesday, the 3rd of March, 2026. You can read more about it in the book of Esther, chapter 9, verse 20 to 31. Reminder to all Akyam wa Akwathian, meaning to remind to all brothers and sisters, to check the bulletin board in the hallway of their school. And if anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. With that, so we'll give a courtesy salute to the brothers and a courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Imajim, which means to stand. We'll give a courtesy salute to the brothers. Men of Israel, Imajim Shabbat. Imajim, Barak, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Brakatham. Meaning Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai. Bless y'all. Yajam Atab, which means hands down. Sar, which means to turn. Turn and face the sisters. If you have any in your presence, we'll give them a courtesy salute as well. Men of Israel, Imajim Shabbat. Imajim, Barak, Yahweh Shamar, Alathan Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Being Yahweh, watch over y'all in the name of Yahweh Shai. Yajamata, class dismissed. Water again to everybody who tuned in. Shalom.
Shalom.
Check me out, dog. Roll the window up, man. Water. Brother, dog, brother. The son of a king. I don't Balenciaga. I might just wear a collar. I might just wear the Pradas. But I'm thinking long term, so I might say the dollars. We ain't no better. I'm just being honest. I should've went to college, but I was thinking violence. This a one West world. We the fucking loudest. Break it down, we break ground. We don't break no damn promise. Let's get active, dog. Don't tell me how you feel about it. These cats saying too much. They ain't learn enough. You maxed out the first quarter, I'm still warming up. These niggas tossing up a brick, they can't score with us. Who gon' come against us? On the Lord with us. Them niggas riding for you, I hope they ride till they crash. Put my name in your mouth, I put my belt to your ass. I ain't running no race, I just hope that I last. All them niggas you look up to, I consider them trash. Only time you seen a leader was in Wayne hand. Niggas will dab you, then pop you with the same hand. I'm a main player, I stick to the game plan. He don't really fuck with you, that's your main man. We them niggas came through and made your city hot. Yep, said he in the field, but he really not. And I ain't casting no stone, I just let him rock. And that's the kind of story they gon' read about. But if it's war, it ain't no tapping out. Grip still heat, spit like a dragon mouth.
I.S.U.P.K presents the Lord's 57th Annual Passover, April 4th, 2026 in Houston, Texas. You do not want to miss this one, Israel. Shalom.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to isupk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
Air One West.